Welcome back to Ring B at Halia Legionov. This is semi-finals day in the AIBA Youth Men's and Women's World Boxing Championships 2021. We saw 10 good fights this morning in the women's competition, and we've got 10 coming up in the men's. Getting underway in just a couple of minutes' time. There's some really good matchups to look forward to, as you would expect. We've got flyweights, lightweights, welterweights, light heavyweights and super heavyweights to look forward to in this ring. Let's just have a quick look at the medal table. I got sent some stats about who's won what medals so far. And of course, when you get through to the semi-final stage, everybody is guaranteed a bronze medal. So the medal haul, as is at the moment, will stay the same in terms of the number of medals that you win. It just depends what colour they'll be. At the minute, India and Russia overall have both got 11. Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan have got 10. Poland have got 8. Ukraine have got 6. Cuba, Italy, 3. Cuba have only sent a men's team, is worth pointing out. In the men's competition, Russia lead the way with 7. Kazakhstan and Ukraine have got 5. India and Uzbekistan 4. Cuba, as mentioned, 3. So the powerhouses are up towards the top, as you would expect. Russia, Kazakhstan, Ukraine, Uzbekistan. But India having a very strong tournament too. And Poland, the host nation, on 8 medals. The majority of those are in the women's competition, but a very good, strong showing by them. That's me. It's been a great couple of weeks so far. Really good covering this tournament. I've had a fantastic time. There've been so many good fights in both of these rings. I think there's been more kind of stoppages, more knockdowns, more strange incidents in Ring A than there have been in Ring B, but it's been absolutely engrossing viewing.
And ladies and gentlemen, we start the semifinals men's 52 kilogram bout number 365. Please into the red corner from Ukraine, Ruslan TSYKALO.
Ruslan TSYKALO of Ukraine beat TSYKALO of Kyrgyzstan 5-0 in the quarterfinals. Does look young, doesn't he? Youth Championships, the age range is 17 to 19. You get some really young-looking fighters. You get some other fighters who look like 30-year-olds. That's just how things go at that age group, isn't it?
From Uzbekistan, Shakhzod, MUZAFAROV.
And this is Shakhzod MUZAFAROV, who had a good win yesterday against Dany of Japan, who is a talented fighter.
Jordan, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Azerbaijan, Israel, and Korea, and the referee from Ireland, Miss Vasily.
So that's TSYKALO. As I said, both of these two won 5-0 yesterday, but MUZAFAROV's fight against Cheerav of Japan was 29-28, 5 times over on the cards. Cheerav's a good fighter, so that was a very solid win for MUZAFAROV. So those are judges at ringside: Jordan, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Azerbaijan, Israel and Korea. Sadie Duffy of Ireland is our referee. TSYKALO of Ukraine in the red, MUZAFAROV of Uzbekistan in the blue. Got a southpaw against an orthodox here. TSYKALO, the southpaw, both of them just springing into the centre of the ring. MUZAFAROV let the 1-2 go there. just lost his balance slightly. His weight came forward as he threw it. Got up tight and close though, looked to try and work to the body. And these two just go looking for each other in the early stages. Right in front of each other. Front feet so close, almost touching most of the time. One, two there from TSYKALO. Didn't hit the target though, it was blocked mainly by the gloves. He just holds those hands quite low sometimes. It stands a bit square, MUZAFAROV. Good jab there from TSYKALO. TSYKALO's a more kind of like classical stylist, if you like. Relaxed sort of southpaw. Holds that lead hand quite low sometimes. MUZAFAROV there just springs in from quite a long way out and managed to land that lead left hand. Looking to step in with a big expansive right to the body there, I think, MUZAFAROV, and it didn't quite work again there. He comes quite square with his feet and just tends to sort of run in a little bit, little short steps. So it's a bit of a mixture that you get from him, technically, MUZAFAROV. You kind of know what you're getting with TSYKALO. Works well on the basics. Again, MUZAFAROV just climbing in from quite a long way out and did manage to land that lead left hand. Goes for a lead right hand there. Gum shield's come out, I think, somebody's. And that is TSYKALO, so they'll need to rinse that off. There he is, just standing on the edge of range there, MUZAFAROV, and you know that he's going to close down that space. Poised and ready to strike, almost like a sprinter on his blocks at times. TSYKALO's got to find a way of negating those kind of marauding attacks. The best way is to use that jab. Just in with the feet there, MUZAFAROV. Final few seconds of round one. Well short with the left hand there, but he just wanted to throw it because I think he felt that MUZAFAROV was about to make a move. He's very quick, the Uzbek. He's got that kind of fast twitch thing going on. Right hand there on the inside, then looks to go to the body. Tries to get close to TSYKALO and rough him up. Physically, there's a big difference between these two. We saw them come into the ring, and MUZAFAROV he's compact, he's well put together. He seems physically quite well developed. TSYKALO is very boyish in terms of his physique, and as I said, you do get that around this age category. People at different stages of that physical development, that adult strength with some people doesn't come until their mid-20s, with others it could come in their mid-teens. So MUZAFAROV gets it on the scorecards there, 10-9 all around. And TSYKALO's got to find a way of coping with that physicality that just sees him jump in, spring in onto the inside and let his hands go, essentially.
Seconds out, please. Round two.
Into the second round. MUZAFAROV with those feet just planted wide. Left hand to the body there from TSYKALO. TSYKALO in the red, boxing for Ukraine. MUZAFAROV of Uzbekistan in the blue. He picked up the first round. Just trying to feint a little bit with that front foot there, MUZAFAROV. He's just got his eyes locked onto the target there. He's just looking squarely at the chest there of TSYKALO, I think. Gets him back into the corner. He's got quick hands. Good right hand there from MUZAFAROV. Referee comes in with a standing count there. They both threw at the same time, both throwing their backhands at the same time. MUZAFAROV landed his right. I think he was a bit surprised by that, TSYKALO, by the standing count there. Leaping in with a lead left hook there, MUZAFAROV. TSYKALO just looking to try and measure the distance. Again, he just springs in. It's unorthodox stuff at times, just dipping to his left, stabbing almost with the right, just sprayed out to the right-hand side. Difficult to counter that kind of attack. And that's what TSYKALO has found, really. Again, as MUZAFAROV comes forward there, he's just trying to give himself a little bit of room and catch him with the jab on the way in. He has done that. He has managed to do it a few times, but it's not easy. Fighters like this, and there are plenty of them in the competition, plenty of them in top amateur international boxing, like MUZAFAROV. They're difficult to get any kind of rhythm against because they're very kind of staccato in the way they fight. They're still, and then they're flying in. They're still, and then they're moving. It's difficult to kind of pick up a rhythm and a beat from them. And TSYKALO just trying to get involved on the inside there. Bell goes to the end of the second round. Pretty good fight to watch. A couple of 10-8s there. So TSYKALO is way behind going into the final round. Was that standing count, of course, for a lovely right hand from MUZAFAROV.
Seconds out, please. Third round.
Shoelace, is it? I think. Shoelace, yeah. Well, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what he was doing there. He just got the towel in the coach and just started dusting his boots. And the referee had to point out to him that it was an untied shoelace. So it's the start of the third round. TSYKALO in the red of Ukraine is behind here, but he's still going to give it everything in this final round. Shakhzod MUZAFAROV of Uzbekistan has built up that tidy enough lead, and he's just been a little bit too quick, I think, for TSYKALO, and a bit too strong. He's just been slightly outgunned here, Ukrainian, who's a good fighter, technically skilled, correct kind of southpaw, and I think he's enjoyed the challenge of boxing MUZAFAROV here, but he hasn't quite had an answer for the speed. As an example of the bag of tricks that he is, really, MUZAFAROV, standing completely square, back to the ropes, gloves spread wide, but he's able to spring off either foot. He's very athletic. He's got good movement. Allowed himself to be backed up to the corner there. He's looking for an opportunity to come out of that corner with the right hand. He knows he's ahead here, and it's not a case of him not really wanting to take any risks, because I don't think he feels that there's an imminent threat from TSYKALO in terms of him being able to just take him out with one punch, which is what he needs to do, really. But he's got a final coming up in 2 or 3 days' time. He doesn't need to do anything crazy here. Good straight right hand. That's what I'm talking about, really. The speed that he manages to come in and throw that with. There's a lot wrong with that in terms of technique. You won't find many coaches teaching their fighters to do something like that. But when you've got somebody who's capable of something a little bit extra, something a little bit unusual, then you should just let them get on and do it. If they land it, then just let them get on and do it. Good short right hand there from MUZAFAROV. Final few seconds of this first semi-final at the men's flyweight division, and it's going to be Shakhzod MUZAFAROV of Uzbekistan who goes through to the final. Good performance from him, but a good fight. TSYKALO of Ukraine was in that all the way through. Always trying to get a leash on MUZAFAROV and make something happen. And he did have his moments of success, but MUZAFAROV, as I mentioned, was very, very quick. He's very athletic. He's got that explosivity that you have to have if you're going to fight like that. It's a kind of chicken and egg. You wouldn't fight like that if you didn't have it. It would be absolutely impossible.
Ladies and gentlemen, in about 365. In the ring being win by points with unanimous decision. From the blue corner, Shakhzod MUZAFAROV, Uzbekistan.
Well, we knew which way that one was going to go. And he will make his way through to Friday's final. So a bit of time off. He's got to stay on the weight. He can't celebrate, but he will be able to rest. And 10-9s across the board with some 10-8s in round 2 from Jordan and Azerbaijan.
Now we have the same semifinals in the rings being men's 52 kg. Please into the red corner from Russia, Evgenii ZHOROV.
So the second semi-final coming to the red corner here, representing Russia, is Evgenii ZHOROV, former European champion. Wins against Belarus, Hungary, and then Azerbaijan.
Please to the blue corner from Mongolia, Sukhbat and ENKHZORIGT.
ENKHZORIGT of Mongolia has got past Italy, India, and Spain so far.
And the judges of this bout: 1 Korea, 2 Singapore, 3 Latvia, 4 Jordan, 5 Kazakhstan, and the referee from Israel, Mr. Artur Burginyan.
ZHOROV of Russia, ENKHZORIGT of Mongolia. ZHOROV, orthodox fighter. ENKHZORIGT, as is generally the case with Mongolian fighters, a southpaw.
Round one.
Through the right hand there, ZHOROV, and then I think was caught by left because he got knocked off balance to his right hand side. Strong right hand on the inside there from ZHOROV. These two right on top of each other at the start of the fight here. Let me go with the right hand there, ZHOROV. Again, looking for the jab. Very, very quick jab. Brought it back nicely. ENKHZORIGT threw his jab. Combination there. Went to the head. Gloves stopped those and then went down to the body. And that punch scored. Just missing with the 1-2 there, ZHOROV, and ENKHZORIGT just going for a little walk. He's looking for the third or fourth punch of that combination to get through there, ENKHZORIGT. He knows he's going to hit gloves, probably with the first couple, but then he went to the body with the right hand and then came back up with the left and almost snakes it through the guard. There's an interesting fight, this. It's technical, tactical stuff. They're both just trying to see if they can find those gaps, work those openings. Right hand there from ZHOROV, reached. ENKHZORIGT just came off that left hand a bit to the body. Hence him taking a little bit of a stagger step to his right. 1-2 there from ZHOROV. The right hand got through, I think. Combination from ENKHZORIGT, looking down to the body. Right hand again there from ZHOROV. He's just coming off slightly the better at this close range. He's not really looking for combinations, not as much as ENKHZORIGT is. He's looking for the 1-2, single shot sometimes. Right hand to the body there. He brings it back nice and quick. Just a little fake with the front foot. ENKHZORIGT is looking to put his punches together a little bit more, throw more combinations. Right hand there again from ZHOROV. And in this battle of close quarters, it's the Russian at the minute who's coming off slightly better. That guard works well for him and then goes to the body again there. Final few seconds. Right to the body. Good jab from ENKHZORIGT. Oh, good stuff, kind of engrossing stuff, really. The range at which they chose to conduct affairs in that opening round. They're right on top of each other, really. Just enough space to be able to look into each other's eyes, to be honest. And ZHOROV has taken it 10-9 on all of the cards. So I just wonder whether ENKHZORIGT might look for something a little bit different in the second round. That left hand did get through, but those 3-4 punch combinations, he's defended them pretty well generally. Led off with a right hand there, followed it with a left, a kind of reverse 1-2 from ZHOROV, and it worked. There's a combination, and the fourth punch of that combination did find the body, but to throw that, he has to stay in there quite long, no matter how quick his hands are.
Round 2.
We're back to exactly where we were in the first round. Looking for the jab there, 1-2 from ENKHZORIGT. And again, just using those nice quick hands, but again, the guard was in place there for ZHOROV. He's looking busier in this second round so far, ENKHZORIGT. ZHOROV trying to step in, but ENKHZORIGT just took a half step back there and stayed out of the way. Looking for the right hand to the body, but I think ENKHZORIGT managed to block that. Good work there from ZHOROV, managed to just spin, slipped underneath his opponent's punch and then just pivots around that front foot. Neither one of them is looking to back off at all. They're working around those front feet. They want to stay close. They fancy their chances here. They both fancy their chances up close of making their opponent miss and then making them pay. And if they make them miss, they want to be close enough to make them pay. Left hand to the body. You don't see that many fights at this kind of range. Either you've got one fighter who's shorter than the other one and they're looking to get on the inside, and the other one's looking to try and keep it on the outside. Or sometimes, and I saw a brilliant one a couple of days ago. Yesterday, in fact, a light heavyweight, you have two fighters who just lean on each other. ZHOROV Evgenii and Ljesovic of Serbia, and they have it right up close. But this is just slightly further out than that, where they're looking to read each other and react to each other. Right to the body there from ZHOROV. Again there, ZHOROV just allowed the left hand to slip over the shoulder, span around the front foot through the right hand, didn't quite land. It's been a tighter round, this one. The first round was pretty easy to score. This one has been more difficult. Three punches there from ENKHZORIGT, but they're all on the gloves, all on the forearms. Nice left on the inside there, though, from the Mongolian. But the vast majority of what he's thrown in that second round, the fighter in blue is still, it's landed on the gloves, it's landed on gloves, it's landed on forearms. And that looks good, but they're not scoring punches. Well, split scores there, and crucially, three of them go ZHOROV's way, so he's in a good position now. He's got a 2-point lead on 3 cards, and he just needs to keep that, and he'll win the fight. He needed to get one more of them there, ENKHZORIGT. If it was 3-2 in his favour, then he would have had a chance of turning 3 cards that were level his way, which would have given him the fight. But as it is, he needs both of those level cards, and he's got to try and overturn a 2-point deficit, and that's extremely difficult.
Seconds out, please. Third round.
So into the third. ZHOROV in a good position here, the Russian fighter. He's in red, ENKHZORIGT and Mongolia in blue. Right to the body there from ZHOROV. ENKHZORIGT scores a good left to the body himself. Uppercut caught on the gloves. The defence of ZHOROV has been really tight. Left hand gets through there from ENKHZORIGT, but in general the Russian has done a great job because he's taken a lot on the gloves, and ENKHZORIGT has found it difficult to find him to the body as well. Right to the body scored there, I think, from ENKHZORIGT. He just tapped upstairs and then went down. Right to the body from ZHOROV. Definitely got there. And the difference between the two of them really has been that ENKHZORIGT is in the most has thrown more, but mostly hit gloves. ZHOROV has been a bit more sparing with the amount of punches that he's thrown, but he's found the target more often. Good upcut there from ENKHZORIGT. And a left to the body as well. Decent spell that for him. Just over a minute remaining. Right hand there from ZHOROV. The right landed though from ENKHZORIGT as well. Looking for the uppercut there, ENKHZORIGT, but it didn't quite get through, and it's probably quite a frustrating experience for him because he's thrown plenty, he's let his hands go, but really very little of it has counted in the eyes of the judges at ringside, because they're looking for scoring punches delivered, landed with the knuckle part of the glove on the torso, on the front of the head. That's what they're sitting there looking out for. And I'd say at least 80% of what he's thrown, the Mongolian has not made it to the target. He's just not been able to find the gaps, a touch of gloves between the two, and that will be a win for Evgenii ZHOROV, whichever way that final round has gone, because if ENKHZORIGT gets it, he's going to get it 10-9. There's not going to be any 10-8s, and ZHOROV was 2 points up on 3 cards, so he will be through to the final, where he'll be up against MUZAFAROV. So it'll be Uzbekistan against Russia.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout in the ring B by unanimous decision from the red corner, Evgenii ZHOROV.
So ZHOROV gets it. We knew that it was very much in his favour heading into that final round, and 29-28 right across the board there. So those 2 cards that he was leading 20 points to 18, he'll have lost them, but those 3 cards that he was leading 20 points to 18, he'll have lost them, but the other 2 that were level, he'll have won. So there you go, 5-29-28. But going into that final round, he was in control.
And now we start the first semifinals, men's lightweight division. Please into the red corner from Kazakhstan, Yelnur, SUYUNBAY.
Looking forward to seeing SUYUNBAY beat Yurii dos Reis of Brazil 4-1 in the quarterfinals. Stopped Radoslav with a body shot in the first round earlier in the competition, and my colleague over in Ring A, Ron McIntosh, has been telling me good things about him, the Kazakh. Tall fighter.
And please to the blue corner from Colombia, Jhon OROBIO, SINIESTRA.
Jhon OROBIO of Colombia had a tough one against ZHAKHARIEV of Uzbekistan in the quarterfinals. Got through that 3-2, 4 scores of 29-28. It was a real good tussle.
And the judges of this bout, 1 Jordan, 2 Russia, 3 Singapore, 4 Poland, and 5 Taiwan, and the referee from Bosnia and Herzegovina, Miss Kina Poletan.
So these two called to the middle in the red there. That's Yelnur SUYUNBAY of Kazakhstan. And he has got some height on him, that is for sure. You look at the difference there, it's quite considerable. Jhon OROBIO of Colombia.
Round 1.
And he'll look to get on that jab, SUYUNBAY. OROBIO has got to try and find a way to take that away. Looks to try and just lunge in there really and jab to the body. Very well balanced, SUYUNBAY. Just able to keep popping that jab out. That's what you want to see from a tall fighter. It's not what you always do see, but it's what you want to see. It's such a weapon, the jab, and he doesn't have to load up on it and spear it every single time. He has to just put the right hand on the back of it there. And what good fighters do, they build into fights piece by piece. So they'll get that jab working, try and find a range with the jab, then look to try and put the right hand on the back of it, then maybe a body shot, third punch of the combination. And SUYUNBAY's keeping it simple early on here. OROBIO has got to try and muscle his way onto the inside almost, but he's got to do it with some smarts. He's got to keep that head on the move. Right hand from OROBIO, just about got to the chest there of SUYUNBAY. Good left hand from SUYUNBAY off the ropes as he was sliding off to his left. And he's always just keeping that lead hand moving. It's a distraction sometimes. Other times it can be a bit more of a weapon. Other times it's just there to try and offset OROBIO, take him off balance, preoccupy him. And he's doing all of those things. Left to the body there from SUYUNBAY. Stepped in with the left there. OROBIO himself turned southpaw. He's just trying everything he can here to try and get a grip on the fight, because he's losing this opening round, and when you lose the opening round in a 3-round fight, it makes things difficult. OROBIO just trying to provide a positive finish to the round there. He was getting closer towards the end of that 3 minutes, I felt, the Colombian, but really that was dictated by Yelnur SUYUNBAY. Controlled the fight with his jab. One judge there going for OROBIO, the others all in favor of SUYUNBAY.
Manténgame esa tarjeta ahí. Quiere con que lo toque ahí, él le va a bajar la mano. Si les tira la mano, le tira el swing a la articulación. Ya sabe, para que se le caiga el brazo. Que él no resiste el tenis. ¿Listo? Vamos, toma ahí. Salga y pegue el pique y pegue la carrera, pegue el golpe de salida, pegue la carrera. Para que lo presione de salida. Vamos a impresionar.
Seconds out, please.
Presionarlo de salida, vamos. Vamos, mi rey, vamos. De salida, pegue el pique.
Into the second round. Yelnur SUYUNBAY of Kazakhstan, he's in the red. Jhon OROBIO of Colombia is in the blue, and SUYUNBAY has taken those 4 cards with the judges in that first round, the other one going to OROBIO. And again, just sticking out that lead hand. OROBIO trying to close in with left to the body, turn southpaw. Now back to orthodox. Good jab from SUYUNBAY. Good use of the feet. Hasn't really allowed himself to get pinned back on the ropes at any point. Just standing square there, throwing off alternately kind of right hand and left hand leads. OROBIO doing everything he can to track him down, really. He's following him around a bit rather than cutting off the ring. Chopping right hand there from SUYUNBAY. Letting go with a big right hand there, OROBIO, just a sign maybe that he's getting a touch frustrated. Turning southpaw there, SUYUNBAY lands a left hand to the body. Big swinging right hand there, and that caught him high on the head. That can scramble you, take your balance away a little bit. OROBIO almost literally there, just grabbing hold of SUYUNBAY and trying to maneuver him where he wanted him so he could then hit him. He's trying as muscular approach here as he can possibly get away with, because it's just a very tricky job. He almost got a punch through on the inside there, but SUYUNBAY just manages to pull his weight back, just sways back at the waist. Right to the body. That was a good punch there from OROBIO. But he's swinging a little bit wildly at times. As I said, he doesn't really cut the ring off. He more follows SUYUNBAY around. Again, a big scything right hand, misses the target by a distance there, but the left hand got through right at the end of the round. OROBIO is full of effort here. He's full of determination just to try and get to SUYUNBAY somehow. He put a lot into that round. SUYUNBAY, to be perfectly honest, didn't land all that much, but he still won that round. So it's level on that middle card there, and SUYUNBAY with 2-0 lead with the other 4 judges. He's just a very difficult fighter to knock out of his groove. So tall, and he really uses that height as well.
Seconds out, please.
So it's the third and final round here. We've got Yelnur SUYUNBAY of Kazakhstan in the red. This is the first semi-final in the men's lightweight division. He's up against Jhon OROBIO of Colombia, and it's SUYUNBAY who's got a handy lead. What at this point you would say is an unassailable lead, given what we've witnessed in the opening 2 rounds. OROBIO will continue to work hard to try and muscle his way onto the inside to try and catch SUYUNBAY on the end of one of these big winging right hands that he's been throwing. And there's another one there. There's a bit of tape that's come free from the wrist there, I think. And there's that movement from SUYUNBAY. It's difficult, very, very difficult to maneuver. Very difficult to trap him, whether it's back on the ropes or towards the corner. He makes the ring seem like a very, very big place. And OROBIO is showing a good engine here, because this is extremely tiring what he's trying to do, which is basically just chase somebody around for 9 minutes and spend a lot of time hitting thin air, as he just did there. He's incredibly elusive, SUYUNBAY. Missing is tiring. Good right hand there from SUYUNBAY. Measured it and executed it well. Long right hand there from OROBIO does get through, and that's just sheer persistence paying off for you there. Left to the body there from OROBIO as well. Good counter left hand there from SUYUNBAY as OROBIO came in with his right. But OROBIO short with the left hand. He's going to keep going right up until the very end here. Right hand SUYUNBAY, then a jab, and then the bell goes. And OROBIO, rather optimistically, seems to be celebrating there. He's definitely not going to get the win on the cards here. That's not going to happen. He pursued SUYUNBAY all throughout the fight, but at no point did he really manage to get hold of his target. He was elusive in the extreme.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this bout, Rigby, win on points with unanimous decision. From the red corner, Yelnur, SUYUNBAY, Kazakhstan.
SUYUNBAY gets it. Round of applause there from OROBIO, who has got some change on the scorecards there in the middle three scores. So I think he's taken that final round 3 cards to 2. In effect, split scoring. Well, in fact, it's 3-2 in favour of SUYUNBAY, because there was one round that was given to OROBIO earlier in the fight. So that's how we've got there. 3 rounds to 0 with 2 judges, 2 rounds to 1 with the other 3. And SUYUNBAY goes through to the final.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we start the second semifinals men's lightweight division. Bout number 368 in the ring B. Please into the red corner from Bulgaria, Radoslav ROSENOV.
Well, this is an absolutely terrific fight. Radoslav ROSENOV, European youth champion. Seen him beat Latvia, Spain, Turkey. Good win against Kerem Osman yesterday, 5-0. Skillful, quick. But he's up against a very good opponent.
And his opponent, please, into the blue corner from Japan, Reito TSUTSUMI.
TSUTSUMI, the 2019 Asian Youth Champion, he's looked impressive so far. A win by UD against Herrera Montero of Cuba yesterday. And he had him all but out on his feet in the final round. And not many people do that to Cuban international fighters. TSUTSUMI.
Judges of this bout. 1 Kazakhstan, 2 Azerbaijan, 3 Korea, 4 Russia, and 5 Croatia. And the referee from Poland, Mr. Maciej Jurgot.
And this is just a terrific matchup. What was impressive about him yesterday against Herrera Montero was the way that he just exploded up with the jab. He's very, very accurate. His coach always seems to do that before the start of the fight and have a really good pull on his ears. I don't know what that's about. I don't know whether it's luck or what it is. I can't think of any physical benefits of it. So really looking forward to this one. Rosenov in the red, TSUTSUMI of Japan in the blue. In Ring B, he's been one of the outstanding fighters that I've seen, TSUTSUMI. So this is the second semi-final in the final in the lightweight division.
Round 1.
It is SUYUNBAY who awaits the winner of this fight. Rosenov, Bulgaria, red. TSUTSUMI, Japan, blue. 2 southpaws. Rosenov physically is just slightly the taller, slightly longer reach. But what TSUTSUMI is very, very good at is shutting down that space, closing the gap, and landing that jab. They've both got extremely sharp reflexes, these two. The speed that both of them is able to employ is incredibly impressive. There's that jab from TSUTSUMI, then just takes the feet back out. Cheerav trying to catch him with the left hand on the inside, did manage to find the left hand to the body. Right hand there from TSUTSUMI somehow catches Rosenov as he was exiting to his right. The speed there of the movement from Rosenov and then the response from TSUTSUMI was absolutely extraordinary. Lead right hand there from TSUTSUMI. Rosenov immediately came back with a couple. Heavyish looking right hand there from Rosenov. I think it was one which just maybe knocked TSUTSUMI slightly off balance, possibly connected slightly with the inside of the glove. Midway through round 1. Not an awful lot to separate these two so far. But you always suspected that this was going to be tight. Just fell short there, Rosenov. TSUTSUMI couldn't quite make him pay for it. Rosenov knew that he put himself in an awkward position and just kept throwing. Right hand there from TSUTSUMI. Rosenov was trying to escape down the ropes, and he just stepped across and threw it. Right hand on the inside there from TSUTSUMI. And then again was very, very quick to just pull those feet back. It's been a good opening round. Very high level technical stuff this. I would go TSUTSUMI's way myself. I think he's had slightly the better of it, looking for that jab again there. For the first time, really looking to really plant that jab. TSUTSUMI gets it 10-9 with all 5 of our scoring judges ringside.
Seconds out, please. Second round.
So into the second round, TSUTSUMI with his nose in front at the end of round 1. There comes that jab again, and maybe he's just kind of found the optimum distance for that. Good right hand there though from Rosenov. Right hand just caught TSUTSUMI on the inside there as he looks to try and work his way up close to Rosenov. Well, count there for Rosenov. He doesn't like it. He feels that he was caught slightly off balance there, but the punch did land. It was a pretty rapid exchange. Just before that, TSUTSUMI had thrown a jab, hadn't reached, got caught on his way out, but I think it was a right hand maybe that landed there as they exchanged. And Rosenov, I'd imagine there was a little bit of a balance issue there, given how quickly he's moving and that the punch maybe started that issue, if you like. The punch took him off balance, and if that's the case, then it's a knockdown. The referees often don't give knockdowns that appear to be fairly clear knockdowns. But it's of no great consequence because the judges scoring ringside, they are the ones who interpret what is going on. And they're looking to interpret dominance. Good combination there from TSUTSUMI. And this is turning into a tough round for Rosenov now. TSUTSUMI's just going after him a bit, which he can tend to do. We saw him do it against Herrera Montero yesterday in the final round. There's that jab. He's got his feet into exactly the right range to throw that jab right to the body. And again, he's just planting it now. It is a weapon, that jab, and Rosenov just trying to skirt around the outside of the ring. Right to the body and right upstairs. And Rosenov at the minute doesn't really have any answers. Good combination again there. And then again with the lead right hand, and Rosenov is just been picked off here. Could see some 10-8s here possibly. As I was explaining, a knockdown and standing count doesn't necessarily equate to a 10-8. People who watch this will be aware of that, I think, of the scoring protocols. It's not like professional boxing. Chopping down left hand there from TSUTSUMI. He just stayed in after he threw it and got caught himself, and then Rosenov rather came back with another left hand. Faint trace of blood just coming from the end of the nose there, so TSUTSUMI gets it, and there are two 10-8s. Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan have gone 10-8 there, so TSUTSUMI is in a comfortable lead here. Comfortable lead, 2 points up on 3 cards, 3 points up on the other 2, and this is just a mark of how good he is, because Rosenov is a European youth champion. He's a very good fighter. But just caught with that 1-2 there, just falling slightly short with the left hand, and he was really made to pay for it.
Seconds out, please. Third round.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this round by unanimous decision is the boxer from the blue corner.
He's a little bit frustrated, Rosenov. He's right above me in the neutral corner, and the coaches are just trying to keep him going. He knows that he's coming off second best here, and it's very, very frustrating for him because he came here for a gold medal. He's guaranteed a bronze, but that's not what he came here for. Good left hand there from TSUTSUMI, just chopping down with it. Right hand comes back there from Rosenov, but TSUTSUMI's still just looking to get right on top of him. He knows he's ahead here, but there's never any suggestion with this Japanese fighter that he might take it easy in the final round, that he might keep something in the tank. He didn't do it yesterday against Herrera Montero of Cuba, and he's not going to do it here. He manages to break fighters down within the space of a 3-round fight, and not many people can do that. I'm not saying that Rosenov is coming apart here, because he's not, but he doesn't really have too many answers. It's been very hard for him to make an impact on TSUTSUMI, who has been caught a few times, but not really so you would notice. Straight left hand there from TSUTSUMI. A couple of rights to the body. So there goes the bell, and he's so frustrated there, Rosenov. He just kicks the rope. You can see how irritated he is, because, as I said, he came here for a gold medal, and he really believed that he could win that fight. But it's not just the fact that he's lost that fight. He kind of wasn't even really in it. TSUTSUMI has won those 3 rounds, and he's won each one of them with something to spare, and that's hard when you're any athlete, but particularly when you're a young athlete. You get shown your level. You get shown that somebody else is a level above.
With the unanimous decision from the blue corner, Reito TSUTSUMI, Japan.
And TSUTSUMI, well, that final between him and SUYUNBAY is going to be very, very interesting, because SUYUNBAY is going to need all that movement. He's going to need that jab to keep TSUTSUMI off him. He really is. So I look forward to that one. I look forward to that one very much. And well done to Rosenov. He's had a good tournament, and he needs to just remember that, because although it's not gone his way today, final scores, a couple of Scores with 10-8s there in the top overall. Although it's not gone Rosenov's way today, he's boxed well, he's acquitted himself well, and next time he comes up against Reito TSUTSUMI, and there will be a next time, then he will have a bit of a better idea exactly what to expect. But that'll be hard to take. That'll be hard to take because there was a gulf between the two there, and he would not have been expecting that.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we start the semifinals, men's welterweight division. Bout number 369, please, into the red corner from Ukraine, Yurii, ZAKHARIEV.
ZAKHARIEV of Ukraine, a two-time European youth champion, beat Summit of India 5-0 in the quarterfinals, and that was an impressive win because Summit is a big, strong fighter. They've been putting it on people, not ZAKHARIEV.
Dany, LAFOS Paul.
LAFOS Paul is impressed. He had a great fight first up against Marco Verdi of Mexico in the quarterfinals, beat Vladislav Gudzi of Moldova. Another good fighter, 4-0. So this should be a real good fight, this one.
The judges of this bout: 1 Taiwan, 2 Jordan, 3 Israel, 4 Kazakhstan, and 5 Latvia, and the referee from Azerbaijan, Mr. Elin.
Bit of height advantage there for LAFOS Paul.
Round 1.
ZAKHARIEV of Ukraine in the red, LAFOS Paul of Cuba in the blue. LAFOS Paul was just standing up a bit more upright. ZAKHARIEV looking to kind of prowl and swagger his way up slightly closer. LAFOS Paul just dipping at the knees there after he threw that left hand. Jab just short from the Cuban at the moment. ZAKHARIEV gets in close, throws right to the body. And then looks to spring in with a jab to the body. LAFOS Paul just been pushed back into the ropes there, made full use of them. Good jab there from the Cuban. He's found a range with it now. Left his body there from LAFOS Paul. And there's the jab. Just setting ZAKHARIEV off balance as he looks to try and come in there. Snatched at the right hand a bit. ZAKHARIEV, he's all action, the Ukrainian. And he's thrown a lot in the opening stages of this fight, but a lot of it is missed. When he's gone to the head anyway, a lot of it is missed. That jab short there. Body work has been better. LAFOS Paul hasn't exactly been thundering shots home, but there's a more kind of studied look about him of the two. It's all movement, all action with ZAKHARIEV. More economy from the Cuban fighter. Just having to sway back at the waist there, ZAKHARIEV, to stay out of the way. Jab, good jab there from LAFOS Paul. left to the body. I think he just managed to drop the gloves on that, though, ZAKHARIEV. Into the final 30 seconds or so of round one. Left hand gets through there from ZAKHARIEV. Just pushes LAFOS Pol back into the ropes, and that was the biggest success he's had in the round so far. Straight left hand there from ZAKHARIEV. He's having a good finish. LAFOS Pol up until that point had landed the cleaner punches. Tough round that, tough round. He was spending a lot of time trying to track LAFOS Pol down. Let's have a look at the scoring, and it's worked for him because ZAKHARIEV has got that on all of the judges' scorecards. I think up until that final flourish, it wasn't the easiest round to score because although he was coming forward, ZAKHARIEV, he was missing a lot, particularly with those headshots, and LAFOS Pol did do some work with the jab. So until the close of that round, I probably had the Cuban just about ahead. ZAKHARIEV was always aggressive, but it's not about that. It's about what lands. But then right towards the end there, he did get through with a few.
Seconds out, please.
So into the second round, and LAFOS Pol is up against it here. Good stiff jab there from ZAKHARIEV, and I think the Cuban has got to set his feet and meet ZAKHARIEV a little bit more than he did in that first round, and there's signs here that he will do that. He just got caught there as he was backpedaling. He's got to take it to ZAKHARIEV a bit here and have it with him, and ZAKHARIEV just imposes that physicality on LAFOS Pol, gets a hold of him, and pretty much just throws him into the ropes. The referee has a word with him about that, but although it doesn't count for anything in terms of the judges, a little bit of a charge here, I think, because he dropped that first round, and at the minute this second it's tight, but on the basis of what happened in the first, I would say this is probably going against him as well. Right hand there from ZAKHARIEV, who just shrugs him off. The referee had a quick word about that. That's a little bit better from LAFOS Pol. Just caught ZAKHARIEV on the end of the 1-2 there. Good jab from the Cuban as well. They trade jabs on the inside and both look for right hands. Long right hand from LAFOS Pol. Short left. Decent finish to the round for the Cuban here. But ZAKHARIEV gets it on 4 of the cards. Thought he might. So 2 rounds to 0 up with those 4 judges. It's level with the judge at the top there, and LAFOS Pol in that second round did try to up the work rate, did try and get on the front foot more and be a bit more aggressive, but evidently didn't quite do enough.
Seconds out, please.
Well, the corner taking too long there, the Ukrainian corner. They need to get out quicker than that. Seconds out came about 5 seconds ago. So into the third and final round here. Yurii ZAKHARIEV of Ukraine is in control here against Dany LAFOS Pol of Cuba. Good straight left hand there from the Cuban. But he's 2 points down on 4 scorecards, so needs something absolutely huge to turn this around. As ZAKHARIEV has just got him on the run a little bit there. Landed a left hand followed by a right, and he didn't look completely steady as he headed back in towards the ropes. LAFOS Pol, he is very tall, and when tall fighters get caught like that, they can have that kind of Bambi on ice look about them. Good movement there from ZAKHARIEV. You've got to be fit to fight like this because he throws a lot of punches and there's a lot of extravagant lateral movement as well. Dipping low at the waist, moving from side to side. Great example there. And that's very, very good defensively. But as I say, you've got to be in top sparkling nick to fight like that, even for 3 rounds. Lead right hand there from LAFOS Pol. This contest is just meandering a little bit in the final round. ZAKHARIEV, I think, will know that he's on top here. Throws that big 1-2. He's had to be punching up all fight as well because there's a height advantage for LAFOS Pol, and he does tend to box out of a bit of a crouch and finds LAFOS Pol with a really springy right hand there, ZAKHARIEV. And he'll have a couple of days to recover after this as well. The rest day for everybody tomorrow, and then the women's finals are on Thursday, the men's on Friday. They get underway at 4 o'clock, both of those sessions, Central European time. That will all be on the AIBA boxing YouTube channel, as all the coverage has been over the last couple of weeks. So if you've been following it with us, please do try and make sure you subscribe. It's the final few seconds here. And ZAKHARIEV really has outworked LAFOS Pol over the course of the 3 rounds. That's what you would say has been the main difference between the two. He's thrown more, and he's been busier, and he's outdone his opponent in that sense. In terms of what landed over the course of those 3 rounds, there might not be all that much difference between the two of them, to be honest, but that was a good shot, followed by the right hand there, and then he just took a little bit of a stagger back towards the ropes. But what did land from ZAKHARIEV was more solid than what came back from LAFOS Pol, and he deservedly got the win here.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this bout in the ring B, winner points with unanimous decision. From the red corner, Yurii, ZAKHARIEV.
So ZAKHARIEV goes through to the final, and LAFOS Pol will have to be content with a bronze medal. Split scoring in that final round, so 2 scores of 30-27, 3 rounds to 0, 3 scores of 29-28, 2 rounds to 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we start the second semi-finals in men's welterweight division, bout number 317. Please into the red corner. From Russia, Cheerav, ASHALAEV.
So coming into the red corner here, Cheerav, ASHALAEV, who I've very much enjoyed watching over the course of the last week and a half. Beat Muradi Atashkarov around 4-1 in the quarterfinals.
And please to the blue corner, from Uzbekistan, ABDULLAEV.
And in the blue corner, we've got ABDULLAEV of Uzbekistan. got past Chemkar of Turkey 5-0 yesterday. Has got some senior experience in the amateurs.
And the judges of this bout, 1, Taiwan 2, Bosnia and Herzegovina 3, Jordan for Singapore and 5, Croatia, and the referee from Latvia, Leonid Hanec.
So ASHALAEV of Russia in the red, a European youth silver medalist, wins against Kazakhstan, Brazil and Iran. The win against Nascimento, Brazil, was impressive, as was the win against Aman Keldi of Kazakhstan. ASHALAEV, one of those fighters who can kind of do it any which way. ABDULLAEV adopts a more kind of muscular approach, probably, but he's got good all-round skills as well. ASHALAEV in the red, as I say, boxing orthodox. ABDULLAEV stood southpaw and then has started off orthodox here. I've seen him do both over the course of the tournament so far. Good jab from ASHALAEV. Looking for that double jab there, ASHALAEV, and then the long right hand jab to the body. Those gloves are always on the move for ABDULLAEV. Leads off with a left hook quite often. ASHALAEV just looking for the 1-2 at the moment. ABDULLAEV trying to throw his own right hand back over the top there. He's used that right hand well so far, ASHALAEV. He's varied it up, sometimes just shooting it down the centre, other times starting it slightly higher, chopping down with it. Plenty of trading on the inside. And I would say that the Russian has just come off slightly better of the two. Turn southpaw now, ABDULLAEV. Just lost his balance slightly there, ASHALAEV, as he came forward. Good jab from ABDULLAEV. ASHALAEV just slightly slow with the right hand, right to the body there, and he's got caught by the left hand a couple of times, actually, in the last 20 seconds or so, ASHALAEV, right towards the end of the round here. That's interesting because he's been having some joy with that right hand, but a couple of times he was just a little bit slow, maybe bringing it back, and ABDULLAEV timed him. So 3 cards there in favour of ASHALAEV, 2 in favour of ABDULLAEV. He just had a bit of joy towards the end of that opening 3 minutes, so it's tight, this. And what happened in the closing stages of that round? was particularly interesting because, as I said, ASHALAEV has done well with the right hand throughout the course of that 3 minutes, right up until the end there when he just reached for it a little bit. ABDULLAEV kind of tempted him in, took the weight back and caught him with the left hand, just there.
Seconds out, please.
Just made him stretch for it slightly. So this is an interesting technical battle. ABDULLAEV, I think, is better as a southpaw. Boxes more as a southpaw. He started off orthodox in this fight, maybe just to try and confuse ASHALAEV. It didn't really work. Looking for the 1-2 there, ABDULLAEV. There's that right hand, but he got caught again there, ASHALAEV. His weight just coming a bit too far forward, and it's fractions here. When you're boxing at this kind of level, it really is fractions. You make a small mistake and you pay for it. He's got to keep that balance, ASHALAEV, because if he is slightly lazy with that right hand, slightly off balance, then ABDULLAEV will punish him. And he's got his feet back underneath him with it there, throwing it long to the body. And not coming forward with the chin. And there, just a short right to the body. He went for the left-hand counter there, ABDULLAEV, but didn't quite land it because ASHALAEV hadn't come in too far with the head. Jab there from ABDULLAEV was good. Just lost his footing slightly there, ABDULLAEV, I think. Good right hand. That's a solid right hand from ASHALAEV. Well timed as ABDULLAEV was looking to land the jab. There's that right again from ASHALAEV. Again, this has been another tight round. 30 seconds remaining. I would just shade ASHALAEV at this point myself. Right to the body there from the Russian. He's in red. ABDULLAEV of Uzbekistan is in blue. The concentration required by these two is immense here. They cannot afford to lapse at all. Right to the body, then right to the head for ASHALAEV. And whereas he finished that first round in a slightly slack fashion, he's not doing that here, and that should be enough, I think, to give him that second round. Well, still split, but he does get it, so he's got the lead, 20 points to 18 on 3 of those cards. Level on 1, down by a couple of points on the other. So ABDULLAEV has got it all to do here. He'll keep that one card he's got. He needs to convert that draw to a win, and he's got to turn around one of these 28 teams. We've had this scenario so many times over the last few days, and it's going to be extremely difficult for him to do it. What ASHALAEV has got to make sure he doesn't do is get a point deducted. There's absolutely no suggestion that that will happen because the referees barely had to get involved in this fight at all. So into the third and final round, ASHALAEV of Russia in the red, ABDULLAEV of Uzbekistan in the blue. And the onus is on ABDULLAEV to really try and make something happen here, or he will be going out and will have to be satisfied with a bronze medal. Right hand to the body there from ASHALAEV. Good jab there from ABDULLAEV. ASHALAEV is looking to try and back him up and put him under some pressure here. Just creeping forward with that front foot. He was doing that all fight. Right foot into the chest, into the throat almost. Just causes ABDULLAEV to stagger back into the ropes. Counter right hand was a good punch. The jab came out from ABDULLAEV and he just held his feet slightly, and the referees decided to give a standard count there. That was a really good right hand from ASHALAEV. You could see it momentarily maybe just stunned ABDULLAEV a bit because he was on his way in himself when it hit him. And again, he's caught one there. Not quite as bad that time. ASHALAEV really is a good fighter. He's very clever. He really brings the heat. You would look at him and think he's a traditional kind of pressure fighter, but that front foot is always on you, always crowding you. He's tall, he's got that reach. So whilst he might be just slightly out of your range, you're within his, and you know you are. There's that right hand again, followed by the left, and ASHALAEV is having a good final round here. Really good final round. Left hand there from ABDULLAEV was decent. So touch of gloves between the two at the conclusion of that fight. And it was a good fight. It was a good fight. ASHALAEV, though, has won it. He won that final round as well for me, which on my card would have made it 3-0. That good, strong right hand caused the standing count. But it was a good technical encounter there. They were just right opposite each other, standing right in front of each other all the way through. Just trying to find those gaps, trying to set some traps, trying to see if they could draw a lead. It was really, really good to watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this semifinal, in the ring B, win on points with split decision from the red corner, Cheerav, ASHALAEV, Russia.
So 4-1 in his favour. Singapore went to ABDULLAEV. The other 4 going in favour of ASHALAEV. And he will face ZAKHARIEV in the final, which should be an interesting one, certainly. Ukraine versus Russia. 10-9s across the board there.
Now we have the first semifinals in the light heavyweight division, men's, into the ring B. Please, to the red corner, from Russia, Vasily, KAVERIN.
And we do have Russia versus Ukraine here, this men's light heavyweight first semi-final. Vasily KAVERIN of Russia beat Almir Memic 5-0 in his quarter-final. Very kind of efficient, methodical fighter.
And please, to the blue corner, his opponent, from Ukraine, Denis Salabai.
Salabai of Ukraine had a hard fight in his quarter-final. He won it by unanimous decision against Murad Alaverdiev, but he was 29-28 on all 5 cards, ZHOROV, who we saw have that spectacular war with Vinciguerra earlier in the competition. So these two could be well matched, I think. Both guaranteed bronzes, as we know, as is everybody in the semi-finals.
And the judges of this bout: 1 Korea, 2 Azerbaijan, 3 Poland, 4 Kazakhstan, and 5 Israel. And the referee from Turkey, TSUTSUMI.
Round 2.
Нормально. Нет, чуть-чуть легче.
Korea, Azerbaijan, Poland, Kazakhstan, Israel. Our judges at ringside.
Round 1.
So into the first round. Vasily KAVERIN of Russia, boxing as a southpaw, he's in the red. ASHALAEV, Ukraine in the blue. Lead hands just meeting early on. KAVERIN just raiding in with a left hand to the body there. Nobody really wanting to make too much of a move in this opening minute. Left hand on the inside there from KAVERIN. Very cagey opening round. As we hit the midway point, it's KAVERIN who's landed the more scoring blows so far with those left to the body. A little uppercut as well. ASHALAEV just taking too long to get his punches off here, really, is his problem. Looks for the jab there. Sticks with the right hand, but it was blocked. Good defense there from KAVERIN. Evaded a right hand and then through the left, pulled the weight back. Left to the body. That's been a good shot for him in this round. Straight left hand down the middle from the Russian. He's just pulling away a little bit in this first round. There's that left to the body again there from KAVERIN right at the end of the round, and I'll make that his round. The Russian, who goes back to the red corner. Ten lines across the board. And it was that left to the body that did most of the heavy lifting for him in that round, most of the work. Salabay, as I said, I think just a little bit gun shy in that opening round.
Двоечка, тяжко двоечка. Чаще работай. Не ведись, чтобы он тебя не ловил. Чтобы он тебя не ловил тут. Все на передней руке, понял? Передний коня, право-левый. Право-левый, право-опять левый. Есть, надо поработать. Раунд не за нами, ты понял? Давай, немножко надо.
Seconds out, please. Round 2.
So into the second round. Good opening round there for Vasily KAVERIN of Russia in the red. I described him in the ring walk as an efficient, kind of methodical southpaw, and that's what he proved to be in that opening round. He takes what he can get, and what he could get most of the time in that opening round was that left hand to the body, and he's found it again there. Salabay is trying to up the tempo in round 2, and he does need to, because he was a bit too circumspect in that opening round. Just seemed reluctant to let his hands go, and you can understand they're boxing this at close quarters. It's similar to the fight we've just seen, to a couple of fights we've seen in this ring. There's no room for mistakes there when you're operating essentially in the pocket, really. They're in range at all times. Sneaky little uppercut there from KAVERIN. I don't know if it really landed, but he did well to find the angle with it. There's that left to the body again. He scored so many times with that left to the body. Straight right hand, then look for the right uppercut. He's comfortable under pressure, KAVERIN, as well. Just pushed back to the ropes there. Didn't seem to be any kind of a problem for him, and this round's going his way as well. There's nothing flashy about him, but he's very, very effective. He makes very few mistakes. The head movement there, for example, was absolutely spot on. Through the left to the body and then just rolled out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout lies with decision is the boxer representing blue corner, Kielce of Russia.
Salabay just trying to work to the body towards the end of the round, and he did up the work rate there, the Ukrainian, in that second round certainly, but the better punches again were picked by KAVERIN, and that's the right way to describe it with him. You often talk about fighters picking their punches, and that does appear to be exactly what he does. 10 lines across the board again there. So he is out in front here, and it's very difficult to see Denis Salabay catching him.
Хлестко закончи левый сбоку. Правый ты даже можешь не важиваться, просто обозначь. Закончи левый.
Или прямой, или боковой.
И смотри, веди сейчас все внимание по корпусу. Посади его под печень. Засади его. Подожди передний, как засади его под печень. Ты слышишь? Не оттягивай себя назад. Ты вот назад пропускаешь. Закончи боковым левым. Все. Это стандартная комбинация. Правый, левый сбоку поделишь. Все. Попадешь, будет нормально. Хорошо? Третий
Seconds
раунд.
out, please.
Давай, потерпи.
Third round.
So third and final round, Vasily KAVERIN of Russia has found the gaps in this fight so far. He's in the red, up against Denis Salabay of Ukraine in the blue. It's been contested at close range. Good example there. KAVERIN just able to pull that weight back, throw that left hand to the body again there. That's been very, very profitable for him.
Оторвись на него, дерни на него.
Право снизу, по животу вправо.
Left to the body again. And the right uppercut was a good shot too, just squeezed that through. SUYUNBAY just leaning on KAVERIN there. You can see him breathing quite heavily. Physically, these are taxing fights, but mentally taxing too, because there's just not a second to switch off, not a second to step off and get some kind of rest. You've got to be tuned in, right on point, every split second you're in there. Closing stages of round 3, but slightly messy this third round. KAVERIN looking for the 1-2 down the centre. Good left hand over the top there from KAVERIN. SUYUNBAY with the left on the inside himself there. He hasn't had too many successes in this fight, the Ukrainian. Unfortunately for him, this is not going to go his way. He will have to make do with a bronze medal, which at the World Championships is no small feat. But it's KAVERIN who is going to go through to the final and get the opportunity to box for gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, in ring B, win by unanimous decision. From the red corner, Vasily, KAVERIN, Russia.
So KAVERIN gets it as we knew that he would. And 5 cards to 0. So a couple of judges going with SUYUNBAY in that final round, I think. But he was in control. He was 2 rounds up heading into it. So there you go. Azerbaijan and Israel went for SUYUNBAY in that final round, which I think was quite generous of them, but it's of no great consequence. And KAVERIN, who is a clever fighter, he's going to be a difficult fighter to beat. He goes through to the final, where he will meet either Petr Liesevich of Montenegro or Shokhjikon ABDULLAEV of Uzbekistan. Liesevich was in an unbelievable fight with Salgado of Cuba yesterday. Phenomenal inside fight. They just leant on each other's shoulder for 9 minutes pretty much, looking for those gaps. Fractional movement on the inside. It was such incredibly skillful stuff. I wonder what that might have taken out of him. ABDULLAEV, for his part, he had a real tussle with Dallaev and was, I wouldn't say he was lucky to win it, but he could have lost it. In the final round, he got it with all 5 judges, and I thought it was a close round.
We have the bout number 372 in ring B, second semifinals men's lightweight division. With in the red corner from Montenegro, Petr Liesevich.
2020 European Youth Champion Liesevich. And I was describing that fight against Salgado. It really was of the very, very highest level. Other fighters he's beaten, Bakit Toktusun of Kyrgyzstan, Nikita Neistat of Finland. But that win against Salgado was top draw.
From Uzbekistan, ABDULLAEV.
ABDULLAEV, the Asian youth champion, so European youth champion up against Asian youth champion. He beat Andrei Maslow of Belarus, and then, as I said, had a hard fight against Dalil Dadiev. Went right off the boil, particularly in the second round. It was quite curious.
And the judges of this bout: 1 Jordan, 2 Russia, 3 Taiwan, 4 Azerbaijan, and 5 Kazakhstan. And the referee from Bulgaria is Maria Kavalkieva.
There's ABDULLAEV. He won the first round against Dadiev, and then in the second round got caught a couple of times and just looked like he might have been slightly buzzed because he just seemed to lose the plot slightly for the rest of the round, really. There's no better way of describing it. Lost the round, and then the final round, as I said, was really close, and all 5 judges went ABDULLAEV's way, which was perfectly possible. Dadiev, I think, felt a bit hard done by. A bit unlucky. It's difficult to find the right word for it exactly, because it could have gone either way, and all 5 judges went one way.
Round 1.
So here we go. Liasovic of Montenegro in the red. ABDULLAEV of Uzbekistan in the blue. Liasovic, I wonder what kind of tactics he'll employ. Will he look to try and get right up close, right on top of ABDULLAEV, as he did with Salgado? And Salgado was happy to have it with him. They stood in the middle of the ring pretty much, forehead to forehead, and punched each other for 9 minutes. It was terrific. Those gloves down of ABDULLAEV. He relies on his reflexes mostly to keep him out of trouble. Liasovic is a more kind of traditional style of fighter, if you like. Keeps those gloves up, boxes out a bit of a crouch, keeps that chin nice and low. ABDULLAEV looking for the left hand there, didn't really land clean. Left to the body there from ABDULLAEV, and again, Liasovic is hunting him down like he normally does, but when he gets up close, when he gets into range, he's not really making a move. You see, he had ABDULLAEV back up into the corner there, and then just waited a bit too long, and ABDULLAEV threw a couple of left hands rather, and was able just to move off out. Just seems slightly hesitant, the Montenegrin. Decent left hand there though from Liasovic. A left hand came back in from ABDULLAEV. A few blows being traded towards the end of the round. Split scoring, Abdullaev gets it on 4 cards. Sergei Khrushchev goes with Liesevich, and I thought that was Abdullaev's round myself.
Sen gördün mü sen akıllıysan. Akıllını bile yiyeceksin. Yorluğu bile yiyeceksin. Bu şekilde çık gitsin abi. Gelemez. Aylandan ringin ortasına götür var. Bırak oğlum şu gelemez. Hiç kadar hareketi yok ha.
Second half, please.
Ne var? Cinli kıl cinli. Aç olur aç. Tekeden köterse hem olan kellesini tekeden. Ne?
Tur ver ver. Tur kover.
Second round.
So into the second round, Liesevich and Montenegro in the red. Abdullaev of Uzbekistan in the blue. Liesevich just looking to try and step on Abdullaev a little bit more at the start of the round here. I think his corner must have told him that he didn't really do enough in that opening round. Left hand comes back there from Abdullaev, who seems happy enough with this kind of fight. Always looking to throw that left hand counter if he can. Not unhappy with the scenario we've got, which is Liesevich trying to track him down, trying to walk him down. He'll backpedal and allow him to walk in, allow him just to creep in and then throw that left hand. Liesevich just letting his hands go there. I think this is more what he needs to try and do. He's going to get caught with the odd left hand from Abdullaev. I don't see any real way around that, but he's going to have to do this the hard way because he's dropped the opening round, and I don't see any other way for him to do this other than just to try and get on the front foot, put it on Abdullaev, and stay on top of him. Some stuff will get through from the Uzbek. I don't see that not happening, but he's just got to try and see if he can swarm him, overwhelm him, because in that second round yesterday against Dalil Dadiev, a strange thing happened. He got caught a couple of times, and it wasn't quite that he didn't want to know, but all of a sudden he didn't seem to really know where he was exactly. But at the minute, he's just backing up, finding it a bit of room and throwing that left hand hard as Liesevich comes in. That was a good slip there from Liesevich. Into the final minute of round 2, and he badly needs this round, Liesevich, or it's almost mission impossible. That's a good right hand there from Liesevich, and then just catches Abdullaev on the inside. Abdullaev just breathing a little bit harder now in the final 40 seconds. And Liesevich has got to go to work here. He's got to really go to work. Right hand on the inside, and this is the first time really that they're standing square, just trading. And that is what Liesevich will want. Good right hand there from Liesevich. A real strong finish to the round now, and he could maybe still nick this round. Backs him up to the corner. Well, the bell goes at the end there, and it'll be interesting to see how that one is scored, because Liesevich is on the front foot all the time. I thought for the first 2 minutes of it, although that was the case, Abdullaev landed some left hands, moved off, stayed out of trouble, but in the final minute, particularly towards the end there, Liesevich did have some joy. And he gets it with 2 cards, and that leaves him 3 points behind on 3 cards. He needed one of the others to go his way there, because he's got a 2-0 lead on one of the other cards, and the other is 19-19, so he needs that 19-19, but he's also got to turn around to 20-18, and we've had this scenario plenty of times. That's a very, very difficult thing to do. He so badly needed one of those other cards in that second round. It was a very, very close round. I wouldn't like to have had to score that one myself. My kind of feeling was he didn't quite do enough. So third and final round here, Abdullaev is on the brink, and Liesevich has just got to go for it here. He's got to go for it. ABDULLAEV has come out swinging, catches the left hand on the inside, and he doesn't really need to do this, the Uzbek, to be honest with you. Just looking to stick that big right hook there, Lijašević. ABDULLAEV gets caught with a left hand there. Those left hands from him are just a little bit more ragged now. He doesn't have as much time. He's feeling this, ABDULLAEV. There's no doubt about that. Through the 1-2, ABDULLAEV there, and then just managed to pull his weight back, pull his head back. Lijašević has just got to stay on top of him here and just hope he comes apart. Maybe starts holding, gets deducted a point. And that's always possible in the final round. We've seen that over the course of the last few days. A fighter starts to gas a bit. They're under the thumb. And the referee has to get involved and deduct the point. Into the final minute, Lijašević of Montenegro, the European youth champion, ABDULLAEV of Uzbekistan, he's in the blue, the Asian youth champion. And it's ABDULLAEV who's in front. He had a 2-point lead on 3 of the cards going into the final round, and he's blowing a bit here, but unless Lijašević could do something huge towards the end of the round, it's going to be ABDULLAEV's fight. He's going to lose his final round, I think, and it'll end up being a split decision, 3-2. Left hand there from ABDULLAEV, backed up to the ropes, just threw that one as he moved off, and is caught by left hand there from Lijašević, and his legs were shaky. He does seem to have some stamina issues, ABDULLAEV. I noticed that yesterday in the fight against Dany. Well, there goes the bell. A little shake of the head there from Lijašević. He knows, I think, that he just hasn't quite done enough there. The scoring of that second round was critical. If one other card had gone his way rather than ABDULLAEV's way, that's the fine margin there, really, because as it was, he just had a bit too much to do. He just had a bit too much to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, win this bout in the ring B by points with split decision from the blue corner, ABDULLAEV, Uzbekistan.
ABDULLAEV gets it 3-2. As I said, it would be. And Lijašević, I think, will have a few regrets about that one. ABDULLAEV definitely won the first round. The second round was close. Lijašević was coming on towards the end, but didn't do quite enough. As I said, it was split scoring. ABDULLAEV got 3 of those cards, and that gave him that 20-18 lead going into the final round. If he just got one more, Lijašević, then that final round, which he won across the board, that would have been enough to take him through. At this level, that is what it comes down to. So ABDULLAEV goes through to the final to face Vasily KAVERIN of Russia, and we will head into the super heavyweight division to finish off the day.
Now we start the first semi-finals in the men's superweight division. Please into the red corner from Cuba, Fernando Arzola Lopez.
Heading for the red corner here, Fernando Arzola. Big win against Josip Koric of Croatia in the quarterfinals. Koric, a big unit, strong fighter. And Arzola just took it to him. Took it to him in the first round, shut him down.
And please to the blue corner from Armenia, Hovhannes Papazian.
And Hovhannes Papazian of Armenia. And he had a good fight in the quarterfinals as well. Won 5-0, but all 29-28 against Vasily Tkachuk of Ukraine. Two tough fights. Former European junior silver medalist.
Korea, 3 Croatia, 4 Taiwan, and 5 Jordan. And the referees from Ghana, Emerson Pastor.
Arzola just vaulting over the ropes there. And that win against Koric, as I said, it was just so interesting the way he went about it, because he'd seen the way that Koric had won his fights, and he decided in the first round he was going to step to him, and as I described it, just give it to him basically, take him on up front. Won that first round, won the second, and then just stepped off and boxed. Touch of gloves between these two. So this is the final division we've got in Ring B.
Round 1.
In today's evening session, semi-finals. These two fighters, like everybody else throughout the course of today, guaranteed bronze medals. Both looking to get through their semis so they can have the chance to fight for gold. Big physical difference between these two. Much the taller man there, Arzola. Papazian of Armenia. Maybe carrying a little bit of spare weight there, but this is super heavyweight, so it doesn't matter. Jab to the body. Right hand there from Arzola. Just made to fall slightly short there, Papazian, and looked like he might pay the price. Little fake with a front foot there from the Armenian. Sticking the tongue out there, the Cuban. He winked at Koric yesterday at one point. Just got this kind of cocky smile on his face at all times, Arzola. I don't think Papazian's all that bothered about it. Let's go with a big left hand there. Papazian didn't land. Not that much has landed, to be honest with you, in this first round. There's been a decent amount thrown, but a lot of it has hit shoulders, gloves, arms. Been deflected slightly. Haven't been that many clean, obvious scoring punches. Just dipped his head and looked to the body there, Papazian, and then weight came forward, he fell forward and ended up just pushing the Cuban, the big Cuban, back towards the ropes. He's a pretty imposing physical specimen, Fernando Arzola, tall and in terrific shape. Right to the body. It was a decent punch that from from Papazian, and then looks to try and just let his hands go on the inside, and didn't really get too much profit from that. But he's been on the front foot most of the time in this round, the Armenian, and as I say, not all that much really happened in that round in terms of clean, effective punching. There's quite a lot of posturing there from Arzola, but not an enormous amount more. Bit of blood just coming from the end of that nose. And he did have a hard fight against Koric. A split scoring. 3 cards going in favour of the Cuban, 2 going in favour of the Armenian, and it wasn't an easy round to score. You could go either way with that one, certainly. I'd have been tempted to go blue corner, I think, just about. Right hand there, though, from Arzola.
Seconds out, please. Round 2.
So into the second round. This first super heavyweight semi-final. Arzola of Cuba in the red. Took it on 3 out of the 5 cards at the end of that first round. Papazian of Armenia in the blue is the one who's been mostly on the front foot. Well, it's the blood from the nose, I think, that the doctor is just going to check out. In between rounds there, you did see him breathing quite heavy, and as I say, it was a tough fight he had against Koric. Bit of swelling on the left eye there, maybe. I'm just waiting until he turns around and I can see that properly. But my eyes deceive me there. No, there is a swelling up around that left eye. Left eye just closing there, and that's a problem. That is a real problem. And the advertising square has come off the corner on the far side. That was what that crash was. But that left eye is very interesting there for Arzola, because that's just come up at the start of this round. I didn't see that in the corner in between rounds. It's a kind of injury you see sometimes from a thumb, but it's difficult really to get a thumb in the eye from these gloves. A minute into round 2, and this will certainly give the Armenian some confidence. Not that he appears to really lack it, but you see that kind of injury to an opponent, and I'm not sure he can really see out of that eye properly, Arzola. And if he's got to box in a final in 3 days' time, I think by that stage he'll probably be okay, but he's not going to be able to see punches coming. He's not going to be able to see them on that left side as he looks at it particularly effectively, I don't think. It's not completely closed, but it's not far off it. Good left hand on the inside there from Papazian, and there's some blood on the face of the Armenian too. I don't know if that's his or whether that's transferred from the Cuban, and Arzola just looking to set his feet and let his hands go, and the blood coming from the end of the nose again there, and that face of the Cuban is beginning to look like a little bit of a sorry sight, and I think he's decided that the best thing to do here, maybe because he can't really see what's coming with that left eye, is just to take it to Papazian, and the doctor is going to have a look at either the nose or the eye here, or both. Just having a look at the eye there, and as he comes out of the corner, I don't think he can really see out of that eye now. This is difficult for him. This is really difficult for him. Very slight lead after that first round, but 20 seconds to go in round 2. He looks for a big right over the top there, Arzola. Left hand on the inside from Papazai, and he's saying that the right hand didn't really land. The scoring of this round is going to be absolutely critical, because if he's got a lead on, if he's got a 2-point lead on 3 of the cards going into the fight, he's in trouble here. He's in trouble, that Cuban fighter, I tell you, because when he walked back to the corner there, the way he was walking back to the corner, there's something not right with him. You lose your depth perception when you can't see out of one eye, but as he was walking back across the canvas there to the corner, it was like he didn't really know where the canvas was going to start, where his foot was going to meet it, and he's lost that round across the board there, 10-9, so it's level on 3 cards, and Papazai has got a lead on the other 2, so Arzola needs these 3 19-19s, and he needs to turn them around, but he's got big problems because, as I say, the way he walked back to the corner there, you could see that maybe the balance isn't quite there, but as I say, when you can't see out of one eye, you've got no depth perception, and as he was walking, it was like he didn't really know where fresh air was going to end and the canvas was going to start. And when he went to take his seat as well, he actually missed it slightly. And this is a problem. This is a real problem. If he can't see out of that eye, then he shouldn't really be in there. So Papazai has got this one in his pocket really now. And down he goes, the Cuban, from a right hand, and he is all over the place here. He is all over the place here. Someone like him would never normally go down from a shot like that. There is something very, very wrong here. I think the doctor should stop this. I think the doctor should stop this. He is out of sorts. Maybe there was an existing injury there, but to go down from a punch like that. Is it a shoulder problem? He hasn't subluxed his shoulder. You'll be able to see. You'll be able to see if he had. And I think they're going to stop the fight, are they? Yeah, he stopped the fight. The fight has been stopped on the advice of the doctor, and well, that's quite extraordinary because Arzola is physically, he has fallen apart over the course of the last 3 or 4 minutes. There was a bit of blood coming from the nose. Then there's the problem with the left eye, which is virtually shut now. I don't know how that originated, whether it was a punch. I suspect it must have been. And now there seems to be a problem with the shoulder. He was hit to the body, down he went. And it could be a dislocation, that's possible, the way he's just trailing that arm there. That is possible, but he's in a lot of pain. And I think it's coming from numerous different areas. Or maybe it is dislocated. And he's just groaning with pain there. The corner don't seem to be showing an awful lot of concern for him, to be perfectly honest with you. Or maybe that's an injury he's had before because he's saying to them, don't. I think they're thinking about just trying to snap it back in. If you've dislocated a shoulder, that can be done. I've never done it, but by all accounts it is absolutely excruciating, and you can't really lift it. You can't really lift the arm. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know exactly what the injury is, but it's bad. You can see that it's really painful. And you look at the left eye there as well, and they should just go ahead and make the announcement here. Just give the decision. He doesn't need to go and join him in the center of the ring. He's trying to get his glove off. Strange turn of events. Strange turn of events. I absolutely do not doubt the injury, by the way, 100% I don't. That is, it's just the way it happened, the way it all transpired. Look at the eye as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this bout, win by RSC I in the third round from the blue corner, Papazian, Armenia.
Papazian gets it, goes through the Armenian. Referee stops contest injury, 35 seconds into round 3. And, well, you just never know. You really do just never know what is going to happen. I don't think it is dislocated, that shoulder. I'm just looking at him walking past me here. I didn't think it was originally because you can tell normally it just kind of hangs because it is out of the socket and you can't really move it. And it basically looks like it's out of place because it is. But there's a problem there. There's a big, big problem there. But the eye's okay in that first round. That's where these replays are from. He was smiling, he was happy. And he won that first round on at least a couple of the cards. But there's the blood from the nose, and the eyes come up at that point. I think that happened early in the second round because looking at him in the corner at the end of the first, there was no sign of it there. And it really can only be a punch, possibly a thumb that has caused that, because a head clash with the head guards in that kind of area, it's unlikely. Anyway, on we go to the next super heavyweight semi-final. Levente Kiss of Hungary up against ZHOROV of Uzbekistan.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have the last semi-finals in Ring B, men's super heavyweight division. Please into the red corner from Hungary, Levente Kiss.
Levente Kiss with a really, really good win yesterday against Ivan Onischenko. Got past Jugnuu of India, a European junior champion as well, formerly, Levente Kiss.
And please to the blue corner from Uzbekistan, Yelnur ZHOROV.
And he's been impressive in his 3 fights. 2 have finished inside the distance. Hurtado knocked out in the second. Ahmet Senol of Turkey yesterday, referee stopping that one in the second. And he beat Amanat Sabegali of Kazakhstan as well, the Asian youth champion.
And the judges of this bout, 1 Korea, 2 Israel, 3 Bosnia and Herzegovina, 4 Croatia, and 5 Singapore, and the referee from Russia, Mr. Sergei Krudasov.
This should be a really interesting fight. ZHOROV, Asian junior champion. He actually finished second in their senior national elites. And he gave Senol, who's a good fighter, a beating yesterday, throwing the 1-2 to the head in the first round and kept catching him again and again and again. Then the second round went down to the body, and that wasn't any better for Senol. And the referee, I think after a standing count, did the right thing and showed some compassion and stopped it. He's a big man, and what he looks for is that long 1-2. Levente Kiss cannot get caught on the end of that. Height difference between the two of them there.
Round 1.
So final fight of the day in Ring B in this evening session, the semi-finals. All of them completed, but this one. So we know our final lineups, apart from this one remaining place in the men's super heavyweight division. Which one of these two will go through to meet Papazian of Armenia, who we saw just get past Fernando Arzola? Will it be Yelnur ZHOROV in the blue of Uzbekistan, or Levente Kiss of Hungary boxing in the red? ZHOROV will look to try and fire up that 1-2 as soon as he can. Kiss just got to move his head on the way in. He has to get inside that long reach and those punishing gloves. If he could do that, then he's got every chance. There he goes, ZHOROV. Throws it long, throws it loose. Left to the body, and then chopping down with the left hand. He's got good variety with it because, generally speaking, he is going to be punching down. Not always at super heavyweight. There are some big men. Left hand there from Kielce, but Kielce is the kind of fighter who not only isn't as tall as him, but also boxes out of a bit of a crouch. So he's going to have to alter that trajectory. ZHOROV goes to the body. Lead left hand there from Kielce was a decent punch. Got onto the inside there. Was maybe just a little bit too tight. Looking for the right hand and then rolled away to his right. That's exactly where he needs to be. Felt that was low, Levente kiss. Luckily, I don't think there was maximum power on it. And Hungarian's doing a pretty good job in this first round. He's not really managed to land too much yet, but he's moving that head well. He's got into some good positions. He just hasn't been able to capitalise on them. Good right hand there from Kielce. Left to the body. Those lefts to the body have been good from ZHOROV. He hasn't thrown that 1-2 down the middle up top all that often, but he's rammed that left hand straight into the pit of Kielce's stomach 3 or 4 times. Bell goes at the end of round 1, and those are the most noticeable scoring shots of the round. Those left hands from ZHOROV. And he gets it across the board, courtesy of that left to the body, I'm pretty sure. Decent left hand from Kielce. Always trying to move that head.
Seconds out, please. Round 2.
So into the second round, ZHOROV of Uzbekistan in the blue there, taking the first round with all 5 judges, just slipping there as he was looking to just pirouette away across the ropes on that far side of the ring. Good lead left hand there from Kielce. You see the sweat spraying off the head there of ZHOROV. That certainly landed. And again, a good left hand on the inside and another one. And this will certainly increase his confidence. As I said, he's done pretty well in this fight so far in terms of getting close, getting into range. And in the first round, as I mentioned, he got into some good positions, but just couldn't quite manage to land anything, but he's managed 3 solid shots there. Good right hand there from Kielce as well. ZHOROV looking for that 1-2. He's trying to reach for the jab there, Kielce. Didn't manage it. There's that left hand again. When he leads off with that left hand, Kielce, he's having some joy. That seems to be a little bit of a blind spot for ZHOROV, who's just beginning to work his own hands, though. Nice right hand again there from the Hungarian as well. Doing some good work in this round. There's that left to the body, but a jab up top from Kiss. Right hand gets through, left to the body there from Zokhorov, followed by a jab. It's warming up nicely, looking for the 1-2 there. When he gets good distance on the 1-2, Zokhorov, you just see him turn that left hand over. Good left hand on the inside there from Kiss. In terms of quality punches landed, you would have to say that he is ahead in this round. Good right hand there from Kiss as well. He's having a solid round here. And he needs it because Zokhorov won that opener across the board. He needs a scoring to go his way in the second round here, Kiss. Well, split scoring. 3 of the judges going for Jahongir Zokhorov and 2 going for Levente Kiss. So those 2 cards are tied up, but Zokhorov has got a 20 points to 18 lead on the other 3. So this is a very difficult task for Kiss now, heading into the final round. I think he's a bit unlucky there myself in that second round. He landed a lot of good clean punches.
Seconds out, please. Third round.
So into the third, Kiss in the red, Zokhorov in the blue. Zokhorov in the driving seat here. It'd have been an incredible turnaround if Kiss could do this, because basically he's got to win around here against Zokhorov. 10-8. That's the task he's got. Right hand, and a bit of blood immediately comes out of the nose there of Zokhorov. Looking for the body there, Kiss. Zokhorov just flicking out the jab. Reaching for the right hand there, Kiss. Didn't quite find it. Zokhorov looking for the body again there. Kiss just warned about slapping there as we head towards the final minute of round 3. Still trying really hard here, the Hungarian, to get up close and land his shot. Zokhorov has done a pretty good job in this final round of keeping him at bay, and there's that left hand to the body again. Nice left hand there from Zokhorov. And that's the blood from the nose that they're just checking out there. That came from a right hand from Kiss. You could see it land, and then the blood just start coming straight away. It's been a hard fight, this. A tough fight for both of them. Kiss has brought plenty. Looking for a big overhand right there. Well, there goes the belt. Good fight, that enjoyable fight. And closely contested between these two. There wasn't much between them at all, to be honest with you. ZHOROV won that first round. I wouldn't have any argument about that. The second round I thought was a kiss round myself. And there wasn't a great deal in that third one either. But we know the score's heading into the final round, and that saw ZHOROV with a 2-point lead on three of the cards. So there's no way that he surrendered that in the final 3 minutes. So he's going to go through to the final, where he will be up against Hannes Papazian of Armenia.
In the last semi-finals bout, win on points with split decision. From the blue corner, Yelnur ZHOROV, Uzbekistan.
Yelnur ZHOROV gets it for 1. And we'll just wait and have a look at those final round scores. Already taking down ring A there. Look at that, that's quick. He got it with 4 of the judges there, and Kiss got it with the other one. Good fight, like I said. It was hard fought. Kiss brought plenty there, and can have nothing to reproach himself for. He gave it everything that he could possibly give. But ZHOROV wins his 4th fight of these World Championships, and he goes through to the final, which will be on Friday. So we get the day off tomorrow. Outrageous, I know, but we get the day off tomorrow. And then we'll be back with the women's finals on Thursday, and that will start 4 o'clock Central European time. 10 finals, medal ceremonies as well, so it will take a bit longer than it usually would. We're expecting about 4 hours from beginning to end, and then on Friday it'll be exactly the same, but for the men. And I will just leave you with today's results.